Well, 2026 has just started. We're already dealing with a whole heap of bullshit. We're giving you updates with the conflict in Ukraine. We're giving you updates with the Epstein files. We're going to tell you a little bit more about the situation developing in Venezuela. We're going to talk about Minnesota and the Somali fraud. And we're also going to be talking about a situation developing with the Trump-Kennedy, the Kennedy-Trump. It's just the Kennedy Center.
What topics are in the news?
Breaking news. Suspect is still on the run.
Victim remains.
We will explain how it affects you and your expert sources in
The story is still developing. Reports still remain unconfirmed.
They're calling it Kino.
So the president of the Kennedy Center is demanding $1 million from jazz musician Chuck Red for pulling out at a Christmas Day event. He said he couldn't do it in good conscience. In related news to the Kennedy Center, President Trump has determined that only Trump-approved members of the council can decide on the name change. What's interesting about this whole situation is most people wait for someone else to name a building after themselves, but not Trump, because he decided he's going to take initiative and start renaming shit after himself. So what's going on in Minnesota? Right-wing influencer Nick Shirley has demanded access to Somali-ran daycare center after they told him, hey, fuck you, we don't know you, we're not going to let you have access to our kids. Nick Shirley has determined that means the daycare center must be empty. However, the director has refuted these claims and has shown video evidence of people dropping off and picking up their kids throughout the day. Now we got a little bit more clarity with the Somali fraud situation in Minnesota. Even though some people are calling for Tim Walz to resign, it seems there's a little bit more going on. It seems like ICE has already kicked out the Somali fraudsters, and 59 of them were already arrested during the Biden administration. He already hired outside investigators and got an overseer to fix the housing fraud crisis. But RFK has decided that's not enough. He's freezing any child care services for the entire state. So President Trump has vowed to help the Christians that are being killed in the genocide in Nigeria, and responded with these terroristic attacks by bombing an empty field. Trump administration says this is a rousing success. Speaking of drone strikes, the CIA has bombed a dock in Venezuela. Also, we destroyed 5 more boats, killing 8 more people. And in a shocking new development, President Trump has announced that they have arrested the Venezuelan President Maduro. This is after reports of several bombs going off in the Caracas region. Trump said that the United States will run Venezuela for the foreseeable future. Some people have denounced the United States' actions in Venezuela, such as the French President Macron and the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Putin decries the United States' action in Venezuela, and they have no right to force a regime change in a foreign nation, and that this is all about acquiring the natural resources. Why does it sound familiar? What other nation attacked a neighboring country with a bogus explanation, all just to acquire the natural resources? However, if you're concerned about the GOP losing the midterms, Elon Musk already said he's going to donate a lot of money. Elon Musk, you're trying to make a shadow government, you're trying to get people elected, but you can't even run your own social media site X. There's been accusations weighed against Grok. People are saying that child predators are using the AI system to do an undressing filter on pictures of children. Now what does this mean? Elon Musk has previously accused Donald Trump of being in the Epstein files, but he's back on board with working with him. So, I don't know, maybe he's just cool pedophiles, I don't know. Speaking of pedophiles, the Department of Justice has been caught redacting pictures of Maxwell and Trump. Julie Brown, the reporter who really busted the case wide open, says that these redactions and the evidence that's still hidden in the files are way worse than you'd even think. But supposedly, Trump has stated to Marjorie Taylor Greene that it's not that he's trying to protect pedophiles, he's just trying to protect his friends. They're going to get hurt if these files get released. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that Trump is friends with pedophiles, as long as it's stated that some people are just having it be incidentally in the files and didn't do any illegal actions. I guess we can't fucking know because everything got covered up. Speaking of Republicans, 9 Montana Republicans sided with the Democrats, and they voted to lower income taxes and to invest in Medicaid and infrastructure. In retaliation to this, they have been kicked out of the Republican Party. And while we're on the subject of Congress, let's talk about Donald Trump vetoing 2 bipartisan bills. One was to get a water pipeline in Colorado. Donald Trump says the plan is unfeasible, so he had to veto it. Another was a flood protection plan for Florida, for the Miccosukee tribe. He He says they're living under an unauthorized land development in the first place. That the Mikosuke tribe was last in the news for shutting down alligator Alcatraz. So is Trump just still salty over that? I guess our president didn't have a really good Christmas. He posted over 200 times on Christmas Day. But what the hell happened in the White House? The Pentagon has approved an $8.6 billion budget plan to get Israel some F-16 fighter jets. And Anthony Joshua, who heroically beat the shit out of Jake Paul, was involved in a terrible car accident. He was injured and 2 other people have tragically passed away. A group of Buddhist monks decided to go on a peace walk. They're going from Texas all the way up to Washington, D.C. An Israeli billionaire tech mogul, Shlomo Kramer, has said that the First Amendment must be restricted to protect America. And we really need to get a digital ID system, and the government needs to take complete control over the media. I wonder if this has anything to do with Benjamin Netanyahu's plan to change the narrative. He says too many people are being anti-Semitic by telling Israel they can't exterminate large populations of unarmed people. And he vowed to buy up TikTok and news media in order to change the Americans' perception of the Israeli genocide. Furthermore, CBS has announced that they're no longer focusing on data analysis and academic research. They're only going to report things based on emotions. I don't know, if you ask me, it sounds like a bunch of brainwashing propaganda. Now what the hell is going on with Russia? Recently, the United States has halted an attack on an oil tanker after they scribbled a Russian flag on the side of the vessel. And Finland has recently detained a vessel that was destroying an undersea cable. And this all happened after Kiev was under a massive attack from Russia. Shortly after this, Putin reported that one of his houses was bombed by a Ukrainian drone strike. President Trump said he was completely outraged by this development. He couldn't believe that Ukraine was fighting back. However, some skeptics say this may have been a false flag operation. Russia is just trying to get a pretext to start bombing government buildings in Ukraine. Finally, Spain has investigated a sunken Russian vessel, and it seems like they were carrying nuclear reactor parts to North Korea? Maybe this was payment towards North Korea for allowing Russia to use its troops as cannon fodder. Well, I don't know, guys. This year just started. It's already a bunch of bullshit. You know what? We're going to do an analysis of the Super Mario Brothers movie. This is Giraffe TV.
The Super Mario Brothers film.
Today's Giraffe Talk, our main segment is going to be the Super Mario Brothers film of 2023. I saw the trailer for the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy film, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if there's some themes that people haven't really explored, that were hidden in the subtext of the film, that we've missed under the first viewing of the 2023 film. I think it was more than just a family-friendly, isekai, dimension-hopping, action-adventure film. And maybe there's some hidden subtext that have messages about our society, our political landscape. Of course, I'm not exactly a premier expert on the Mario video game series, much less the film series. So I thought I should invite a guest to help me analyze this film. And who better to ask than my good friend Jackson. Jackson! 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 Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Phil. How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Let the audience know a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm Jackson. I grew up 3 older brothers in early 90s, so we had access to literally every Mario game, every Nintendo console you could picture. He was always there, and always had a special relationship with the 2 little Italian plumbers. So
Okay, hell yeah.
excited to talk about the movie. The first movie.
Yeah, the first movie.
Okay.
Not the sequel. The sequel's not out.
Yeah, I believe everyone's pretty familiar with the first movie.
So I think this was more than just a regular action-adventure film. I feel like they were trying to say something. The filmmaker, the producers, they had a little secret message they're trying to get out. I think it's more than what meets the eye. So let's go with a quick little synopsis of the film. You're watching Giraffe TV.
Film synopsis.
Okay, it starts out with 2 hard-working, upstanding Italian-American plumbers, right? You know,
Yeah, 2 hard-working boys from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Busted van, just trying to make a living.
Yeah, starting off the sewer, the plumbing business, that's how they tie in the sewers, the pipes and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, live with their parents. They got competing businesses trying to fuck them in the ass, and they're like, nah, we're gonna, get a little slice of the American pie. So after they go travel around the sewers, they find themselves in another dimension of the Mushroom Kingdom, the world of the Mario video game.
Yeah, Dino Manhattan, Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, New Donk City. We get there. He sees that King Bowser is trying to like enforce his tyrannical martial law on the world. He got dreams of conquering the world, and he got his eyes on a princess. And now there is some lustful, creepy feelings towards the princess, but he mostly wants the power, the little power star thing. You got Bowser doing all this. Mario, he has this little tussle with him. At first, he's not very involved in the conflict, but if you harm people he cares about, like his brother Luigi, he's like, yo, I gotta kick into high gear. I gotta start kicking some fucking ass. They travel around, explore the world. See, there's more to the world of Mario. Mario makes some allies. He brings the fight to the Koopa Kingdom. Bowser wants to go merge the worlds. And the final showdown does happen in Brooklyn. Mario gets to finally show up his rival company, show that he kind of kicks some fucking ass. Luigi comes through, helps him defeat Bowser. The worlds merge, and he doesn't necessarily get the princess or anything.
And there was something, even back then, about seeing Koopa come over to the real world, Koopa showing up in Brooklyn, and there being that merge of two worlds in one.
You're watching Giraffe TV.
Breakdown of the world.
Because I feel like a lot of times, especially early on in the Mario history, it wasn't really clear what the nature of the world was. Like, was it a medieval world with prehistoric dinosaurs? Why are there modern day plumbers in this world? So that's a clever little way of explaining it. The isekai genre gets a lot of hate, but it kind of makes fucking sense for what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I see it as, I mean, some people saw it as the Mushroom Kingdom, other people saw it as the Dinosaur Manhattan.
Yeah. It seems like a different world, but they got roughly the same level of technology. The tech took a different path.
They had bombs, we had
The
Goombas.
Mad Max cars, which was really cool, kind of a highlight.
Oh
It
yeah.
surprised me how much I liked it.
Yeah, and it definitely not what I expected when I saw a Mario movie was for the Mad Max cars.
And the action was honestly fucking awesome.
Oh
But,
yeah.
They weaved into pipes, little power-up references. Like the main plot is basically about the Power Star.
Oh, and the Goombas.
The Goombas.
Tell me that wasn't a weird
They had
direction
the
to take the
Goombas,
Goombas.
they had the Koopas, they had the Shy Guys, all these little like
With the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. You have to really look closely in the
Oh, yeah,
Mario
they're
movie, but
there.
you can catch
Yeah.
that Shy Guy.
so you got a lot of cool little references to the games.
Real deep cut.
You can't really spend 3 hours explaining the world of Mario, so you gotta do quick little jabs to the game, quick little shouts.
Just little pepper in.
The world of the Mario movie, what do you think about it? I kind of like how it still had like a little bit of a 1980s hip-hop flair to the Brooklyn scene.
Yes. Different, almost, I'd even call it a Tim Burton kind of esque.
Tim Burton. I didn't quite pick up on that. I found it more like just like standard whimsical, little colorful world, vibrant, full of life. You're watching a Giraffe production.
Character analysis.
A lot of characters from the game. You've got Toad.
They got little references, the Toads.
Toad, which I always thought Toad, little punk rock vibes to him. I liked the punk rock vibes. The aesthetic that he gave, liked his headpiece.
See, with me with Toad, I get why he's in the film. It makes sense. I see him more as a beta male.
Really?
He's trying to be a Sigma male, but he hasn't quite reached that thing. Kind of like clout stealing guy from Mario. Kind of a bitch, So there's very little that he did to affect the plot. He kind of just was a hanger-on, a little bit for comedic relief, kind of fleshed out the world. So I get the point of him in the movie.
Little in the background.
But I wouldn't want him to be covering my ass in a conflict. I don't think he got what it takes.
No, I think we agree.
So now let's look at the main characters, Mario and Luigi. Like I said, I feel like they're hardworking, upstanding, Italian-American citizens.
Two hardworking brothers.
They're gamers, trying to start up a business, and all they want is a slice of the American pie. In noble goal, a humble task. Mario is kind of slightly reluctant hero, but when the push comes to shove, he starts whooping ass. The fact that Mario's brother Luigi was being tortured, I think is what really kicked Mario's ass into high gear. It's like, alright, I gotta stomp some turtles,
What'd you think about Luigi?
Luigi, a little bit of a bitch, but at the end of the movie, he proves himself to be like a strong warrior. He cares about his friends, cares about his family, his loved ones.
Oh yeah, loved ones, gets the girl. I think he was personally, as far as we're going as characters, I think it was really nice for them to try and make that change to the original plot and give us a character that had, so much Latin flair,
I know John Leguizamo, or however you pronounce his fucking name. John really wanted a Latin vibe for the Mario movie, but I think it's kind of a misplaced idea because Luigi is a goddamn Italian man. Just because the actor was Latin in the 93 movies doesn't mean the character is Latin.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah. And also, John Leguizamo is actually not Puerto Rican, he's Cuban. His grandfather snitched on him and blew the lid on the whole thing. The princess is an adopted woman. She's a lost woman that wants to help out the community.
Yes.
She doesn't really know her family, but she's trying to do her best. She grew up in a world dissimilar to the one she was supposed to be in, right? And even decides to lead the Mushroom people, the Mushroom Kingdom.
And orphaned at such a young age, somewhere like Brooklyn too.
Yeah, she's much more heroic than we would initially give her credit for.
Yeah, princess.
Yoshi, although a mainstay of the Mario films, only gets pretty much a short little cameo in there.
Oh yeah, very, not enough screen time.
Not enough screen time.
Definitely needed more Yoshi.
I think that's something that they were planning on saving for the sequel, I assume.
And the way they made him look was just not quite what I imagined, but I mean, he looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do really with that design. I like Yoshi. I always like Yoshi as a character too. I like that motherfucker die a lot to get those little cool jumps,
yeah.
you know, the extra jump. But I do like the character of Yoshi.
Little snips we got of him were just... What were your takes on King Koopa?
The main villain, the antagonist, the one who moves the plot, is King Bowser. He has a charisma to him, and I kind of got like a school shooter vibe from him, like almost like incel. He's upset because he can't get any fucking gas. But if he wasn't chasing a woman that didn't want him, he could be slaying ass all the time, getting all kinds of pussy. And I think that was the main driving force. There's also insecurity. He wants more power. Bowser cannot comprehend that imprisoning and killing and executing people might be considered cruel or evil, you know? It's beyond his comprehension. It's a very fascist view upon things. Like, the Koopas are better than everyone, but he's better than all of the Koopas. Some weird racial supremacy vibes.
Because the way I saw King Koopa is he came off as literally almost every middle manager ever. He was literally standing there micromanaging everybody, making them do all the work, and had weird haircut.
He has this like desire for maximum power. I can see micromanagement.
Just he's bossing these little guys around, and you know they're listening to this guy with a real weird haircut, which is like every middle manager that I've ever had.
What do you think of King Bowser's henchman?
King Koopa, I like his like I said, the Goombas threw me off for a loop. Not what I expected in my Goomba. I like the little nod at the Shy Guy. It was great to see that. Even the little power-ups I would consider to be bad guys at times, like the Ba-Bomb, you know, a Bullet Bill, like even the mushrooms, you know, like it's all just characters. I just love all the little nods.
The Mushroom Kingdom, you know, people who are stand-ins for basically the regular Toads. You know, we got the actual Toad. I guess Mario kind of has a tendency to do that. Like Yoshi is a species, but Yoshi is a character. Two main henchmen. I didn't catch names. I think one was Kamek, the other was the other guy.
Iggy and Spike. Iggy and Spike.
So I kind of did like him. It gives something for Bowser to talk to, you know. You can tell he's a shitty boss in a way. He uses fear and pain to motivate his henchmen.
Micromanaging.
You're watching Giraffe TV. Okay, so now we got the synopsis. We got the characters. Let's talk about the themes of the movie. Is there a reason why a Japanese property would be based in America? Is there a reason why it's in New York City? Is there a reason why the main characters are Italian American? The main theme I got was racial conflict in New York City. So the Mushroom Kingdom, I think, are stand-in for the typical American. They do got a little bit of an Indian vibe to them, a little bit of an Arabic vibe to them, but overall, I think they're just standard New Yorker. Of course, Mario and Luigi are hard-working Italian American citizens. Bowser and the Koopas, at first I thought with their disregard for human life and their martial society, they were standing for like the Taliban, terrorist ideology. But really, it's more like fascist racial supremacy, I think, that they kind of gave up. So then, you know, you look at the greater world, you know there's more going on. The Kongs, for some reason, gave me a Jewish vibe. So I'm looking at how these people interact. And the Jewish community, the Italian communities, and standard New Yorker community came together to fight out these fascist powers, borderline Nazis. They want to rule every bit of their lives. They want to control the world, crony capitalism, and authoritarian laws. And they said we're not having that in our fucking city. And that's why it was important for Mario to show up Bowser in front of all the city folks in the streets of Brooklyn or wherever the fuck they were.
Oh, I saw it as a definite power dynamic. I got a lot of weird zoophobic kind of vibes for it. Not so much racial vibes, but more the power of, what is it, anthropology or not?
Anthrophobia?
Anthrophobia. Anthrophobia, zoophobia.
Yeah, but there's definitely like a supremacy vibe going on. But,
Definitely.
So, what do you think?
Well, the way I interpreted the movie, which, interesting take, I didn't get a lot of racial inequality or anything like that. I saw it as a story more of two hardworking brothers trying to handle the plumbing crisis that they have in Brooklyn. If this plumbing crisis isn't taken care of, you can only imagine the parallel hell dimension that would open up under Brooklyn. And it just goes to show you that evolution is just a choice. It's basically just a slider bar that you can change if you have enough 90s CGI.
Alright. So, I guess that kind of makes sense. You think about Mario, the concept of the games came from Japan. We're famous for having this very sturdy infrastructure. Now, New York City itself, experts say it only takes about 9 months with lack of maintenance, but the city will pretty much collapse into the goddamn ocean. So I kind of can see where you're coming from. That can deal with some societal fears that they have to live with every single day.
And don't act like I didn't catch that Saturday Night Live didn't rip off Whitest Kids You Know with that 50th anniversary Bobo the Monkey in Space video.
So tell me about this. I'm unaware of the subject matter.
Whitest Kids You Know did the sketch first. They sent a monkey into space they couldn't bring back. John Mulaney did the same sketch with the same looking monkey and the same name.
I think Saturday Night Live is literally one of the shows that insists upon itself. It says, hey, we've been here for 50 years, and we're like, well, I guess you're right.
Saturday Night Live stole Bobo the Monkey.
Saturday Night Live, they keep telling us they've been around here for years and years, and I'm like, who gives a shit?
You know who just quit Saturday Night Live?
Who?
I don't know.
Oh,
Some guy.
you're right. People tell me that Saturday Night Live used to be good back in the day. I feel like I've heard that my entire life. This is Giraffe Productions.
Film review.
As we close out this little segment, we're going to do a little review of the film. So, I think it surprised me. I thought it was going to be a film that was overproduced, focus grouped to death. But yeah, it was surprisingly entertaining. It was vibrant, full of life. The characters had a little bit of comedic relief. They were very likable. Hell, I even liked Bowser himself. He might have been the best part of the film. The music, surprisingly good. Some parts of it didn't really quite fit. I'll let it slide. Overall, I give it about 7 out of 10. I like the little nods to the video game franchise. Of course, you can't do one-to-one. Mario started out as a pretty basic game series. It's the archetypical game series. You gotta flesh out the story.
Who doesn't know who Mario is?
What do you rate the film?
I personally, as a 90s kid, this was my franchise. This was what I knew. It came out, it wasn't exactly what I expected for a Mario movie, but it wasn't babied down. It was a little gritty, it was dark, it still gave me enough nods at, the nostalgic Mario feeling, getting the suit, getting the power-ups. I know you said Koopa was your favorite part?
Yeah.
Just wonderful, wonderful performance by Dennis Hopper.
Oh. Well, shit. Okay, well, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for talking to you about the 2023 film. The 2023 film. And, got any parting words for the audience? Yeah, parting words for the audience.
The 2023 Mario, it was fantastic. Next time you want to talk anything Mario, anything video games, have me on, Phil.
Any words of wisdom, anything you'd like to plug?
You can find me on Instagram.
The world is a dark and uncertain place.
Was the 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie really making a statement upon fascism? Was it a commentary on the failing infrastructure of urban areas? Or are we overanalyzing a child's film for no fucking reason? Are commentary videos on children's animation just a bunch of hacky bullshit? I don't know. Maybe I just really need to upload a video, and I didn't have time to research an actual topic, so spewed out a bunch of bullshit about a child's media property. But then again, maybe we really do need media that will speak out against neo-fascism in the modern era.